Hey there. If you've got a dog in Knoxville, Maryland, you're probably looking to make the most of your life together, right? Well, today we're going to talk about one of the best ways to do that, finding a really great trainer.
If you're a dog owner in Knoxville, you already get it. One of the absolute best things about living here is just how easy it is to get outside. A fantastic walk is literally right there when you open your door.
Yeah, whether you're heading down to the C&O Canal towpath or just taking a nice quiet stroll through the neighborhood, these are the spots that make having a dog here so awesome. But, they also come with some real-world stuff to be ready for. You've got cyclists, other dogs, and maybe even some wildlife. Right, so to handle all those situations with confidence, you're going to want the right professional partner. So let's get into what you should be looking for when you're picking out a trainer. Okay, probably the most important thing to look at is the trainer's whole approach. You'll find that the best, most modern training is all about positive reinforcement. Basically, that just means using rewards like treats or praise to build up good habits. It makes learning fun for your dog, it really strengthens your bond, and it teaches them what you do want them to do instead of just punishing them for what you don't. Now, here's something to know. Maryland doesn't actually require dog trainers to be licensed, so pretty much anyone can call themselves a trainer. That's why credentials are so valuable. Think of them as proof that a trainer is serious about their profession and keeps up with their education. For everyday skills, you'll want to see things like CPD-TKA or KPA-CTP. But if you're dealing with bigger issues, like serious anxiety or reactivity, you'll want a specialist, someone with a CBCCKA certification. Okay, so once you've found a few qualified trainers, the next thing to figure out is the format. How is the training actually going to happen? The right choice really comes down to your dog, your schedule, and what you're hoping to achieve. So the two most common options you'll see are group classes and private training. Group classes? They're awesome for getting your dog around other dogs and are usually a bit easier on the wallet. Private, in-home training, though, that's where you get that one-on-one attention for things that are happening right there in your house or on your regular walk. And hey, if your schedule is a little crazy, there are other choices out there. Some trainers offer day training, where they work with your dog while you're at work, or even board and train programs for a really intensive, focused experience. All right, let's get into the practical side of things. We're going to talk about what this might cost and some really good questions you should ask before you sign on the dotted line. So here's a rough idea of what training costs look like in the Frederick County area, which is where most folks in Knoxville find their trainers. As you can see, the prices can really vary, from a couple $100 for a group class all the way up to several hundred for a private training package. This just helps you kind of match the right format to your budget. To make sure you're finding the perfect fit, it's a good idea to have a list of questions ready. You'll definitely want to ask about their methods and their credentials and find out how they're going to create a plan specifically for your dog. But pay really close attention to this last one. What homework will I need to do? Because honestly, your involvement is what's going to make all the difference in the long run. Okay, so once you've been working with your trainer and you've got the basics down, it's time to take those new skills out into the real world. Let's talk about some great local spots to go practice. When you get to that point where you're ready to work on recall, getting your dog to come back to you without a leash, you need a safe, fenced-in spot. The dog park at Ballinger Creek Park in Frederick is a fantastic choice for exactly that kind of practice. Another really good option for off-leash work is the dog park at Urbana District Park. What's really cool about this one is that they have separate areas for big dogs and small dogs. That can be a huge help in creating a calmer environment when you're practicing things like polite greetings. Now, when it's time to work on polite leash walking, you need some real-life distractions, right? Well, the C&O Canal access points over at Weaverton and Brunswick are just perfect for this. You're going to run into hikers, people on bikes, other dogs. It's pretty much the ideal setting to work on keeping your dog's focus on you. And for even more great leashed practice spots, you can check out the trails around Harper's Ferry or head to nearby state parks like Gathland. The different types of terrain and all the new smells are really great for building up your dog's confidence while they're on a leash. And hey, just a quick but really important reminder about the local rules. In Frederick County, your dog needs to be on a leash anytime you're off your own property. And if you're on federal land, like the C&O Canal, that leash usually can't be longer than 6 feet. So, are you ready for those walks along the canal to be just easier and more fun? Finding the right trainer really is the first step. A well-trained dog means you can get out and explore everything Knoxville has to offer with a lot more confidence, whether you're at a busy trailhead, just walking through town, or even having people over to your house. We really wish you the best on your training journey.